Well, I don't think anybody at this table should be surprised that Donald Trump stood up for 45 minutes, an hour or more, taking questions, giving a speech, because if you're holding your breath for an Oscar nod that he did that, don't hold your breath, because no one's going to believe you. This is what he does. He stands, he gives speeches, he takes the questions, he gives the answers. And to date, more than 3 weeks in, Kamala Harris hasn't given a single interview. She hasn't come on your program. She's not answering questions.
It's
She's not
Kamala,
giving
first
speeches.
of all. It's not Kamala. It's Kamala. And she's not yet the candidate. She's only been in office, only been the candidate for 3.5 weeks.
She's been vice president for 3.5 years.
Yeah, and Trump went a whole primary season without even doing a debate.
And
So,
half
you
of
know,
America isn't stupid because the Republicans in this country voted for him, nominated him. She didn't earn a single vote in the Republican.
But it's a false equivalence between what Donald Trump is doing as an autocrat, as a fascist, as a dictatorially inclined man. The man's aspirations are huge. But the point is that Donald Trump has lied so repeatedly that we normalize his mendacity, his misogyny, his hatred for the ordinary citizen who happens to think logically about these issues. Now, he's got a whole bunch of stuff from the stores up there. He doesn't refer to it. His economic policies are vapid. They are empty. He has nothing to say to these people.
She has no policies on her website at all. She's got more pronouns.
Donald
Trump sits there and tells lie after lie, and he gets normalized by good people like y'all who don't call him out on his bull.
Kamala Harris has more pronouns on her website than she does policy. The only thing she has on there is donate. She's running a Seinfeld campaign. The show is about nothing.
No, absolutely.
And she's winning, right?
She's not winning, actually.
But she's aided and abetted by mainstream media. If you saw the headline by a neighboring network a couple days ago, when Donald Trump came out with his no taxes on tips policy, all of the headlines on mainstream media were derogatory. Kamala Harris comes out with her no taxes.
Kamala
Harris comes out with her policies on no taxes on tips, which is Donald Trump's policy, by the way. All of the headlines on mainstream media were positive and glorious and thoughtful.
I guess y'all are standing up for him because he didn't say any of this today. Well, everything you're saying is nothing he's ever said.
Congresswoman and Mark, I'll direct this at both of you. Donald Trump was supposed to give a speech focused on the economy. He himself acknowledged he could not really help himself but veer into the personal attacks. This is what he said when he was asked about why he keeps going after Harris in these personal ways.
I think I'm entitled to personal attacks. I don't have a lot of respect for her. I don't have a lot of respect for her intelligence, and I think she'll be a terrible president. And I think it's very important that we win. And whether the personal attacks are good, bad, I mean, she certainly attacks me personally. She actually called me weird. He's weird. It was just a soundbite. And she called JD and I weird. He's not weird. He was a great student at Yale.
A lot of people have been saying very publicly to Donald Trump, his allies, stop with the personal attacks. You have a lot to run on when it comes to the economy. That's what he was supposed to be doing today, but he's not.
We spent 45 minutes talking about the economy, the border, energy, all of those things in the first half of that news conference. And when he gets asked about the personal attacks, when he gets asked about other issues, he answers those questions. But when you look at what he's talking about, whether it was yesterday, whether it's today, he's talking about the price of groceries that people can't afford because of Kamala Harris. He is Kamala, sorry. And I didn't study how to say that. And I missed it up. I understand. My apologies. Kamala
Harris.
I've been doing
Vice President Kamala Harris at that.
But do y'all find it problematic that he attacks her personally? Do you find the ad hominem?
I do wonder about that, Congresswoman. I mean, do you agree with people like Nikki Haley who say, move on from that stuff and talk about the issues that matter?
Look, I'm not going to do any pearl clutching here. I have had people come after me, 2 times a year in primaries and general elections. This is my 3rd cycle. Politics does get personal. And
is it right for him to be a misogynist? To direct commentary against
you called him a fascist.
You
can call him whatever you want, but we can't.
He called himself a fascist. He said he was going to be a dictator on day one.
Come on.
He said he was going to be a dictator
I'm
on
asking
day
you
one.
directly. Do you find it problematic that this man deploys ad hominem arguments?
Would not ask a woman like me to come and speak on the stage at the Republican convention.
Absolutely, all the time.
He called me.
Individual women are not problematic to a misogynist.
He wants to protect women, by the way. He put IVF into the Republican Party platform.
What he wants to do is grab, dispose,
the Republican Party platform. He wants to protect women who've been raped. He wants to protect children and girls who are victims of incest.
If you're telling me Donald Trump is a hero for women when the manifest lack of integrity
Well, at
of
least
this
he
man
knows what a
against
woman
individual.
is. I'm not even sure that Kamala.
Well, grabbing a
Kamala.
Look, grabbing a woman, talking about women in the way he does. I'm asking you directly. When you see him direct such venomous rhetoric against this woman, not principled disagreement, do you find that problematic? And if you don't, you help normalize a practice that is vicious and misogynistic.
Look,
regardless, women can be
Let me
misogynist too.
let
I am a
Congresswoman
woman
answer
who has broken a lot of glass ceilings, and I have fought my way to have a seat at the table, and I wouldn't back someone that I thought was a misogynist, and I fully back Donald Trump in 2020.
All right, I want to play one more thing. This was Donald Trump, I guess, not really deciding whether he thinks that Kamala Harris is a radical leftist. Listen.
I believe she's maybe in many ways going to be worse because he wasn't really a radical left. The decline of America is being forced upon us by Biden and the radical left lunatics.
He's following the radical left agenda. If he wins the radical left, we'll be running the country.
So is he radical left or not? I mean, what's the strategy for Republicans here? I mean, is Biden radical left, or is he not radical left now and she's radical left?
Well, the
Does it
entire
matter?
Democrat Party has been taken over by the radical left. They've abandoned the working people of America. They've abandoned the middle. They've now been taken over by California liberals who want the Green New Deal, electric cars, ban plastic straws. She wants to take away red meat. They're now going to institute government.
Are you saying that because you're associating her with?
No, those are the things she said. These are the things that she's all campaigned for. These are all the things that
take away
that
red meat.
Kamala has campaigned for, reducing the red meat, banning plastic straws, the Green New Deal. She's now talking about government price controls for groceries. She wants government housing. She's going to tell you where you have to live. These are all part of her radical
There
socialist
is government.
policies.
Government housing already exists.
Well, radical left would include defunding the police, would include when you're attorney general saying that an undocumented immigrant is not a criminal. Radical left would be raising your taxes. Radical left would be the appeasement strategy against Iran. Radical left would be placating to the Hamas wing of your party and people who are anti-Semites. That is radical left, and that is who she is.
And you know what? You know why she's so radical? That Donald Trump said today that San Francisco, the city where she's from, was a wonderful city 15 years ago. Guess who was the district attorney 15 years ago? Kamala Harris. Guess who donated $6,000 to Kamala Harris's campaign?
Guess who bailed
Donald Trump.
out
If it was such a radical San Francisco liberal, why did Donald Trump give so much money to her?
He's a businessman, and that's how you deal with it.
Maybe Donald Trump is a hypocrite.
I can tell you this. As a professor who teaches about radical progressives in this country, the radicals and progressives would laugh at you thinking that Kamala Harris is in any way a radical leftist. What she is a person who's concerned about ordinary citizens, about union folk, about middle-class people, about wage earners trying to go to work every day and help their kids. And if that's radical leftism, then let's embrace it. Let's all become Marxists.
Kamala Harris got ranked the most liberal senator in the United States of America, further to the radical left than comrade socialist Bernie Sanders. And so she's looking to the right to see him.
If you think that's raising the minimum
Everyone,
wage.
stick around for us. First of all, it'll be interesting. Bernie Sanders would be interested in hearing you say that.